Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show, Between Two Bones, the show about the people in the casino and hospitality industries. Just like holidays don't matter in a casino, job titles and business names on this show don't matter. This show is about the people at all levels in the casino and hospitality industry. Today, our guest is Casino Marketing Executive Mario Maesano. And joining us today. I know you're busy, so again, thank you for the time. So I know we were just talking here a minute ago, but how long have you been in this business?
Depending on when you count, like if you count from my first job as a waiter, working my way through college, I started when I was 18, so that would put me at almost 30 years. But if you take it from the time I'm, had a real job, about 25-ish. So I've been doing it a minute.
Just a little bit.
A little bit.
So where'd you start out at? What part of the country? I mean, what part of the thing about the show is we don't want to say any business names or any kind of titles or anything. We just want to talk about you. But whereabouts did you start at?
So I was born and raised in Atlantic City, and my family was actually in the business. My uncle was the chief operating officer for one of the casinos in Atlantic City. My mom was a dealer and actually taught dealer school in Atlantic City. So I was kind of born into it. I actually tried not to do it. My undergraduate degree is actually in food retail marketing. And I was going to go work for a company called D'Agostino's up in New York City to be part of their management program. But my uncle called me right after I graduated undergrad and didn't give me much of a choice. He said, you're coming to work down in Mississippi and helping me with analysis. So that's what I did. I've been bouncing around the country doing it ever since.
Wow. Yeah. So, well, like I said, you've been spending a lot of time in this business. These are a couple of loaded questions sometimes for people, but what's something that just was really great you saw in this business? Something like that just made you go, wow. Is there a certain like build out a promotion? What is something that just made you say, oh, to this business?
So I've been lucky enough I think the property I'm at now is my 13th property, but for the most part, I've been with 3 companies the majority of my career. Ameristar back when it was Craig Nielsen, with Pinnacle when they were just had a couple casinos in the country, and then with Cordish Gaming. And I've been fortunate in the sense that I've gotten to open more properties than anything. Out of the 13 properties, I think I've opened 9 or 10. I lost count. So, which is why I've bounced around so much, is, you come in pre-opening, you open, you stay for a couple of years, and then you move to the next opening. So to answer your question, I think the whole process, being lucky enough to come into this industry really in the boom of when it was really expanding from Las Vegas and Atlantic City and spreading around the country. I just think the growth and the maturity of the casino business operation, in terms of how it's branded, how it's opened, the technology sophistication, I think the growth has wowed me more than anything, and how we've been able to keep up with the changing times.
I can agree. The business has changed quite a bit over the years, and grown. So what keeps you driving in this business? I mean, what has made you stay for so long in this industry?
Different things at different points. I kind of, when I got into it when I was a kid, I knew I wanted to be the head of marketing at a casino. And there's a fun story about that very early on. And it's progressed why I stay in it over time. Now at this stage of my career, I find the enjoyment more out of teaching the people that are coming up behind us. What the pitfalls, how to do things, but more importantly, how not to do things. And I get great satisfaction out of seeing people grow, and seeing people learn, and that look on their face when they execute something well after being unsure of themselves. really adds joy to it. You know, the idea of giving away, you know, I joke a lot, if I give away another coffee mug, I'll, you know, shoot myself. It's not really about what the promotion is or what the marketing campaign is anymore, because it's all noise. It's more about growing others into it.
Right. Well, and we're not getting younger. We're all getting older in this business.
No, and it happened fast. They say time flies by fast, but man, you know, you look, sometimes you still think you're that 25 or 30-year-old guy with the, you know, the same energy, and you look back and it's like, wow, that changed overnight. Now everybody's looking at you like the old man. So it's all right.
Exactly. Well, last question, and again, this is probably a very loaded question. So what's the most outrageous thing you've seen in this business? Something that just you couldn't believe?
Yeah, that is a loaded question, huh? To be honest, the stories, you know, when we were coming up, I used to just thrive off of the stories of the guys and ladies before us that had stories about like Frank Sinatra and Steve Wynn and, you know, Don Rickles and all those stories. I just thought that was the greatest thing. Now that we're at the stage we're at, the stories I tell probably don't have as much glamour to it, because it's just a different business. But, you know, any outrageous thing I've seen are more to do, I don't even know if they're that outrageous, but more interactions that I've had with certain entertainers, or, you know, in the early days back in Atlantic City, some of the guests, you know, being peed on by a guest at a blackjack table, or having chips thrown in my face when I was a cage cashier, you know, stuff like that. Those are the kind of stories I tell now, but I can't say I have anything that I would say is just outrageous.
Yeah. Well, in as many years as a lot of us have been in this business, there's always those stories that we'll always hang on to, you know, that they just seem to stand out. Like you said, they're just little things. It's not the glamorous stories like the old days, but you know, there are some outrageous ones. I even had a guest that actually died at a slot machine, and his wife was adamant about trying to figure out how to get his points. She didn't care that he died right there. She just wanted to know how to get his
I've heard
points.
stories like that, yeah.
So I know we've all got them.
Mine are more. I have some good stories about some of the headliners, which, by the way, I would say 99 out of 100 of all the headliners are like the nicest people in the world. But you get that 1% that you get some good stories out of.
Oh yeah, yeah, most definitely. Well, I do again appreciate your time. You know, as I just wanted to get a little feel for the people in the business. You know, that's the main thing, and I'm glad you took the time to sit down with us.
Anything for you, Rick. You're a good man.
I appreciate it, Mario. I really do.
Got it.
Thanks again. From all of us here at Rolling Bones News, we want to thank you for joining us, and thanks again to Mario Maesano for his time. Tune in here to see more of the great people in this casino and hospitality industries. And remember, it's the people in these industries that keep the businesses moving.